사제 답제 되고 도제도 먹고 공부도 녀다와니 라반나나 산자도 서도도 가잖아 얘기 야 처음에 보여와 예라서 생기도 다녀도 다시나 엄마 주제들도 따도서 어들이 자작할라 저거들이 잡는 게 조금 참말라들이 다시 되래서 이제 도마.
To start, I'd like to say Tashi Dile, a good warm welcome to all of my friends all over the world. We have a vast amount of fortune and merit to be here, and that meritoriousness manifests as the thought, I must benefit all living beings in the three realms. So this continuous thought, I must be of benefit, I must benefit all living beings of the three realms, is so fortunate. It's such a fortunate thought to have, so thank you. The topic of today's teaching is Aryatara. Can you all hear me? No. Okay. Like this? Better? Okay. The topic of today's teaching is Aryatara. Aryatara is a deity. Deities are good. A deity is very good, and a demon is very bad. So a deity is good in whom we should place our faith, but all thoughts like anger and rage that arise in us, they are signs that we do not understand the abiding nature of reality. In fact, gods and demons are not different. They have the same basis. What individuates them is if you have faith and loving kindness, you are a deity. That is the mind of the deity. It is self-fixation, attachment, and aversion which creates demons. That is the demon. So really, self-clinging and afflictive emotions create demons. So what is a demon? A demon is a competitive mind frame, a mind which wishes to be better than others. This is what is called mistaken attention. So anytime you have jealousy or any kind of afflictive emotion that arises in your mind stream, that afflictive emotion wants you to harm others, wants you to be better than others. You become enraged. You think, I want to hurt that person. I want to be better than them. I want to overcome them. And you actually rejoice in doing so. That is a negative mind frame. That is called mistaken attention. So you shouldn't think in this way. If you give rise to anger and jealousy, that is what causes all of the fighting, all of the warfare throughout the world, all of the anger, all of the harm. And that's the real demon. So your self-clinging, your anger, your rage, your jealousy is the demon. Whoever has, actually, we all have Buddhahood in our mind, but we ourselves create demons through our afflictive emotions. So whatever living being gives rise to loving kindness and meditates on loving kindness, they all become a deity. It is competitiveness, jealousy, and anger which create the demon. So the difference between a demon and a deity is momentary. It happens moment by moment.
추탐지 용콩 용내에 추지 용내 춘종제들이 추탐지 강에서 샘에서 이제 드리대회를 제가 나와 탐지 랑게 샘제 나리에서 되면서 막 이처감지 대해서서 샘에서 와야지 대로 소소를 라조나 라왕이 리조나 라왕이 가까이 올 말에 변에 처지가 독장장 로잖아 그리 처대 독을 주려고 요래 오 처지를 미도 오마라서 받는 미는 줘도 그래 라왕이 뒤에 토마하 고니 리다다다 타마가 라조게 되기 제모리 라데게들이 기왕 달아양들이 르르나사 셈을 동에 미와 스망들이 다고 생각하는 로서봐 다고 생각하는 들이 삼티 짜자 삼티 참 냠는 요요 대답지 동체 차서 들이 내와지 생각함지 들이 단지기 유모가 대답지 들이 라라랑 좋아를 족들이 이 유모가 소소랑랑 유모 가리 치나 대대 동체 차대 요래 들이 예다가 동체 예다의 생각의 동체 냐와의 시당의 동체 들 차도들 함이 동체 마제들 라이 동체 대 유모모토는 마제들이 라다 메샤물이 별로 차적으로 동체들이 메인 게네레데 또 차들 가래 삼제지와 첨보요베 유모모 탐지는 이들이 무실들이 이실절 하고요베 또 차디 삼제를 들어왔지 뭐요베 유모모 탐지는 유모지고 양보요버리 대외를 들리던 또 차근매 그 차도를 하면 세상에 냐와 대도 유모모 독기 상원도 독기 차를 매도고 상원도리 대다다라는 소지 세는 첫때는 라가완도 레가완도 때는 들이 삼제 속치는 들이 때문에 살아이 수마 셀레시 감나가 제요 도요래 삼제 생각나 삼제 가오를 냠는 도요래 들이 시당다 차도 촉지는 시당 촉지가 시당 제보도 아니야 말 제사래 나 센나 촉지보도 나 여다리 제사래 들이 대사주 소시 등에 때는 들이 다다 로가르도 다 여다 빼는 무슨 통치도 줘봐 들이 다 속차더니 다 뭐좀 촉주 들이 족 요요 말 들이 갈아야 싸면서 봐 들이 좋고 또 틀려면 재미 봐 들이 죽고 하자 죽고 요래 대사주도 내 센나 안 속래 들이 소름 깨달 초로 속에서 총고요래 들이 뜨거운 부덕에 사랑도에 저와 직장을 대들들이 점주에게 직삼을 속에 저때 유무가 또 차잖아 들이 도와를 또 되게 차도서 하고 들이 대회다 삼제에서 좀데 들이 타마가 들이 내와디 저 삼제에 삼제들이 저바 요래 저쪽으로 저 파라도서 바로 딱딱 참게 요래 저쪽들이 나디미 바자는 시합에 대해 참고요래 상태래 나디는 유무가 또 참고요래 그래서 성무디 직접바로 차대요래 들이 유무가 또 대양들이 저쪽 내가 좀 맞았더니 저쪽이 셉데시기부터 그 들이 셋도고요 저바데 바다리 거서 사기고만 톡톡고요래 대다고 하고 그래야 돼.
The basis of a deity is actually within you. So the inseparability of a deity and a demon is within your mind. The abiding nature of mind is Dharmakaya. So this is the basis of all deities. And actually there's no difference between that and a demon. The Dharmakaya is emptiness, Yum Chenmo, the Great Mother. So what is the name Dharmakaya? Outwardly, Dharmakaya is like space. Inwardly, Dharmakaya is the nature of mind. We call this Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is the origin of all phenomena. It is the source. And it originates from mind. So actually, all appearances are perceptions in your mind. The mind creates these perceptions. And these perceptions in each individual can become perceptions of a deity, and it also can become perceptions of a demon. And right now we have no, they are kind of self-manifest. They're self-manifest perceptions. These self-manifest perceptions of phenomena, once you understand them, you can create perceptions or self-manifestations of deities. And this affects your life now. It can help purify, or it can help eradicate the suffering of sickness and pain in the physical body. It can purify them. So this affects your life now, and it also affects your future life. You create a city, like a town, a city of your own perceptions. So due to the 6 afflictive emotions based on self-clinging arise the 6 realms of sentient beings. And they become cities, like towns, cities of their own affliction. So the hungry ghosts are cities of stinginess. The hell beings, hell realms, are cities of anger. The demigods are cities of jealousy. The God realms are cities of pride, and the human realm are cities of desire, cities like towns. So once we understand the nature of these afflictions, they can transform into timeless awareness. So now we are human beings in the cities of desire, but the demigods are in cities of jealousy, the hell beings are overrun with anger. So these 6 afflictive emotions are based on 6 seeds, just like the seeds of a flower. And if we understand the strength of loving kindness, if we develop very profoundly strong loving kindness, this creates different seeds. And these seeds can go into the 6 classes of living beings. then we're able to actually traverse to the level of Buddhahood. So strong anger, strong jealousy, strong pride, strong stinginess, and strong desire, and strong anger, these cause the 6 realms of living beings. So we can take, for example, the hungry ghost realm. These beings have enormous stomachs, but very teeny tiny throats, so they're not able to eat even a morsel of food. And it's so pitiful, and we can understand that this is the result of stinginess. So we can understand the fine minutiae of attachment and aversion having effects, the effects of karma, cause and effect. So this causes the 6 realms of living beings. But loving kindness plants the seed of Buddhahood. Within loving kindness are all 6 transcendent perfections of generosity, discipline, patience, and so forth. On the relative level, there is no self-clinging, and on the ultimate level, there is no self-clinging. And this ultimate level comes about through loving kindness. Loving kindness is the antidote to the affliction of self-clinging. The 6 afflictive emotions are only temporary. They're only on the relative. On the ultimate level, all of these afflictions are purified on the level of Buddhahood.
감성 특징이다. 참들이들이 강량들이 호진애들은 이게 본지제끼리 지레들이 뭐니제끼리 제대로 말해야지. 대해서도 사람들이 때 강리 요리들이 대식좀 모르는 거래지. 대식도 뭐 소소로서 샘상만이 야 따하고 샘상만이 또 많이 니들이 다지 니지미 샘 나파나지 자로 데리들이 가리를 사야 데리 좀 돼야 데리 조금 요래지. 대하고 이 당용 제보를 내버려지. 대체는 당용들이 이 생진답게 되어다 뒤는 잡을이 하고 차 동이 매바 차나 사지. 들이 사 소마미 라지고 라세고 살 저러고 요래. 대도 하고 들이 살아 소한테 땅거다 또 라던 제기 좀 뒤시고래. 된 거를 뭐 저거 숨발이 이시도 작은 거를 보자 좋아지. 다들 라지바디 감이 연거래. 이제 라사만 배야고 라데 감이 연거래. 말에 라시 사와 상족세데 사대 상족세를 잡는 거 요래. 상대를 잡는 거 요래서. 들이 상대를 원래 들이 라가리 소로 족족이 배나. 상대들 라조 족족이. 들이 나디들이 가지고 옆에 차는 것들이 들이 생기니나 들이 컨트롤도 차도 제조 족족을 이제 잡대. 제대로 잡도 없대. 정말 라리지 마사바데 시. 들이 다다 라게 대화당 제게 동에 대탐지 싸움도 하고 들라서도 그래. 들라서와 돼서 망보들이 라시바도 상미게래. 들이 다다는지 대하고 정대 백강적인 소나 엠서들이 상미게지 이러고 되네 지레들 좀 말해. 지레들 떨잖아. 주고티 미래지. 이런 센티지레들 그래. 지레들 가래. 지레들 상제리. 적지 가까이 말해야 돼. 지레들들이 락바도사를 맥도사를 락바도사 생기 탐지로 와자 봐. 맥도사가 생기 탐지 대독 통도 봐. 대래 지레들 빼야 돼. 지레들 그네들 상제들이 돼 하고라. 들리네 포탑에 지레들은 통통을 모두 제대로만 단점을 취지사와지 저조를 올롱이 마당 다들 속보탐지 가리로 같이 그 요리 약하고 가리 제가도 고민나서 대표마도 약속돼요. 다시 지레들 좀 말해지. 노바다는 단 제가 좀 말해지. 대시당다 타도 노바다는 미세 말이지. sem세당의 유무의 노바다는 유무바든 제지. 너는 제 상지 저들이니 유무바다. 유무바다 저들이 나디다. 강에서 나디니 송 조이니 동네들이 다딴 제들이 정도도 이 말이 조고사지 진피서는 다만이 스지답게 약고 차고서 알아요. 비게도 들이 소설 아니야. 들이 플라이를 줬다고도 들이 아게 사고는 저거도 아고 머리에 집대로만 공부해. 집대로만 공부 들이 집대로만 우리들이 플라이 시바디 들이 죽었다 갔다 보니들이 사제 탐색들이로 하고 족 당을 받더니 범위에서 그랬더니 집대로만 오다 집대로만에 집대로만 거들 세 집대로만 싸움이 집대로만다 들이 난 집대로만 상태를 와잘 들이 라카리 정말 라이지 샤룩 제발용을 또 상태고 그래 네와도 되겠다 대발죠 제들 들이 집대로만 상태가 뭐래 제들은 잠들이들이 깨다지가 범만 보여래 대답게 작가를 핀받아 마망을 핀다 대외 깨다지는 와서서는 자매를 손하다 부모 깨다지 가리요래 밖에다지는 깨다 가리리 내가 야고지를 깨다요 뒤깨다 야고래 내가 독자되는 게 내가지는 다음에만 오세 대 양태서 깨다니 받지 요래 대서 다시 당을 차도래 미세 말에 대시당을 차도래 하고는 그래서 다 라더 대 가리지 라왕 요래 땅에 라공부에 달라서 와대고 라드 상제래 상 그게 좀 말아서 와다 버려야지.
When we're overwhelmed by attachment and aversion, we think of our own self, and we also think of our own countries. We think, my country is the best throughout all of the world, and I need to protect my country. And that's kind of mentality allows warfare, allows one country to go and attack another country, and to bring in all kinds of destruction, to bomb houses, to murder. And this is what is called mistaken awareness, mistaken attention. The mind which is competitive, wants to be the best, thinks, I am most important. That's what causes these situations throughout the world. So if you don't recognize this, if you're overwhelmed by this kind of mentality, then when you die, you really are a demon. So a demon is this mind of competitiveness that wants to be the best. It's the mind that wants to kill, that wants to vanquish other living beings, that wants to murder them. So if you give rise to jealousy, if you think, oh, that person's doing so well, that's not fair, I want to be doing well too, that is competitiveness, and that is a negative mind frame. And actually, it doesn't harm others, it only harms yourself. So this kind of negativity is something that harms your own mental state. If you recognize the cause, if you recognize cause and effect, if you understand what cause and effect is, you begin to have control over whether or not you're a demon or a deity. You're able to plant the seeds of deities in your own mind. And the seeds planted are this faithful prayer spoken by the Buddhas, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. This is a wish to benefit others, a wish suffused with loving kindness. And it's the antidote to that other state of mind. So then if you see someone doing well, if you see them being beautiful, having lots of money, you actually rejoice. That is the faithful and prayerful mind, the mind that rejoices in others' virtue. And if you rejoice in others' virtue, that virtue is shared with you. That virtue pervades everyone together. And so it benefits everyone. So if you rejoice in others' happiness, that happiness comes over to you. If you rejoice in others' misery, that misery comes over to you. So how can we create the mind of a deity? How can we understand what a deity is? How can we create it? First, we cultivate this prayer, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. And we understand that who creates the difference, who understands the difference between a deity and a demon? It is the Buddha. So it is the Buddha that says this prayer, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. When we say causes of happiness, we mean the causes of virtue. The cause of virtue yields happiness, and the cause of negativity yields suffering. So it is the Buddhas that create this path to happiness, this path of virtue. We take refuge in the Buddha. And then the Dharma is the understanding of karma, cause, and effect. The cause of loving kindness yields the result of a deity. So then if you actually have this cause of loving kindness, you can have the name of a deity. The name of a deity is a pure name, a pure term, a term which reveals the purity of the mind. It's the faithful, prayerful mind. For example, there's the Buddha Amitabha. There are so many different deities. There's Chenrezig and there's Ayatara. Both are said to have taken 100 births to benefit beings. So the compassion of all males are subsumed in Chenrezig, and the compassion of all females is subsumed in Ayatara. And their thinking is the seed of Buddha nature. All living beings have Buddha nature in our own minds. And through the maturation of that Buddha nature, through the cleansing of our minds, we recognize the view of emptiness, free from fixation of self, the mind which is like space, and this is the accomplishment of a deity. So we need to remain in vast equanimity. Vast equanimity is the attitude which understands that my own country is wonderful and all other countries are wonderful as well. I hope that I can benefit all living beings. I hope every single country is well and happy. May all living beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. So this is a kind of cleansed, clean mind, a mind of equanimity. This is the understanding of karma, cause and effect. So Guru Rinpoche said, Yeshe Tsogyal asked Guru Rinpoche a question, and she asked, where do all deities come from? There's so many deities. And Guru Rinpoche said, the root of all deities is the practice of bodhicitta, the mind of awakening. It is the accomplishment or the cultivation of loving kindness. So if you cultivate loving kindness, your potential is always at the ready to be a deity. If you have this kind of attitude, you're a deity. But if you have self-clinging, thinking, I am the best, that is the cultivation of the demons. So we should understand the difference between the deities and the demons. You should supplicate to the deities, understanding that to supplicate to them is to cultivate loving kindness and compassion. Great loving kindness and compassion is the accomplishment of Chenrezig. So outwardly you still look like an ordinary human being's body, but your mind becomes Chenrezig, because your mind is the mind of loving kindness. There really is no other deity to be found. So you then wish to help all sentient beings, and that's your prayer. So we should understand this loving kindness and compassion really is Chenrezig. All males, the compassion and loving kindness of all males is Chenrezig, and the loving kindness and compassion of all females is Aryatara. The wish to help everyone everywhere. That's the accomplishment of the deity. Otherwise, we're actually accomplishing the demon. If we're overcome, overrun by jealousy, by anger, by afflictive emotions, then we're a demon. So all demons are synthesized as just afflictive emotions, and all afflictive emotions can be synthesized into just self-clinging, thinking I am the most important thing. So that's really the real demon. In contrast, the mind which overcomes self-clinging, which wishes to benefit others, which thinks, I want to benefit as many living beings as possible, that actually benefits yourself and benefits others, and that is the mind of the deity. That is Aryatara. So Aryatara is a wisdom deity. She is representative of the Dharmakaya, vastest space, the vast space of Buddhahood. That is Aryatara. So there's the outer deity, there's the inner deity, and there's the path of the deity. And if you understand, no matter what, if you want to supplicate Aryatara, then you need loving kindness and compassion. So you pray, may all living beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. This is meditating on loving kindness, meditating on Aryatara. So she's very famous as a woman throughout the world. But really, what is fame? Fame is positive actions. She's famous as the woman who benefited so many beings throughout all kinds of countries. But fame is really the renown of your positive actions, their reverberations. And the reverberations of negative actions is a bad reputation. So, in brief, anger and jealousy, they are what causes being a demon. And their opposite, loving kindness, is what causes being a deity. So it's in your hands, it's your choice if there's to be a deity or a demon. So you should supplicate to the deity, you should supplicate Aryatara.
Okay. Tridera, Rijetu Numayang Tata, Toma, Royushin, Miri, Jabo Shepodro, Mori, Mene Yishidawa, Omo Yishidawa, 그리고 뭐에 시다와 때들이 되게 다사족 sem그 평용당 고민이 맥대 하고는들이 재미보다 기계 제보 요리 공 사진가를 잡는 데는 손들이 뭐다 잡수 쇼들이 사족템도 넘어서 정리를 넘어서 정리들이 뭐랑 가래 답이야 되나 들이 시강 수다 적배 적강 대그 예잡 마적 세송 책대리 다다리 주디는 요래 접디는 뭐라 라는 게 다보 막 잡도 가리죠래 오 셉지가 동네에 하고는 이제 사방에 잡고도 그냥 탁발 셉지 동네에 하고는 이 동네에 하고는 가리지를 잡고도 저거를 잡고도 저거를 잡고를 저 나디를 잡고도 저 나디를 잡고도 삼지 거거든 이런 다리 정도 들이다니 삼지의 정말 들이다 끼어 체험만 걸 삼지의 정말 들이 되는 따상쪽도 턱지지 상마제에 빠져 생기 삼지 대화다 대지 다다당으로 나당만 보는 누굴 뒤에 책동 대리 사지 삼지 턱지 대리 당보상 쪽도 턱지도 샘지 삼지 샘적이나 가시를 누구의 요래 가시를 내가 요 사지산을 내가 요래 로아를 줘서 동에 무슨 용구요래 루테라니 루테 레테 마도가 용구요래 대르사면 따뜻해 동네 도고 저기서 돌고 저기서 나디에 받던 거도 내가 나디에 삼지게 받던 거도 하고 그래서 저기서 턱질이 되게 뭐하면 들이 대레들이 까밤만 보러들이 사지 사야만 보러 줘봐볼 들이 솔랑거 초사 솔랑만 보차 솔랑만 보다 다다다 개와줄 내가 접 들이 저거래 저들이 되게 상속된 딘제거를 뛰는 단 제거는 남아 이제요래 뭐 좀 주의제 저 상속된디 뭐 상속된디 말을 좀 주의로 상속된거는 어떻게 가 손은 내가 털이서 아주 뭐제가 톱 타톡을 사제고 맡고 좀 주의제 들이 세바 좀 주의제 오, 깨와 가래는 집이 탐지를 강을 피바도 내와 필별에다 마더 뽀글 삼제랑 이게 요래 대다 들로 와도 강매제나 되니 삼제에 마더 보이는 시대 참만 시대만 잡아제 들이들 사족세다 만다리세 들이티 사족 이 사족세다 만다로 사족 줄을 요하다 들이들레가 제정가리 들다 민강지들은 민엠피제기들은 라고에 털을 작은 말이 가까이리 삼제 요거 em쳤다 삼제 em쳤다 가까이 오리 삼제 시정 제발 열매나 대다가 세바 좀 줘야지 용화 좀 줘야 돼 내가도 소리게 대와 지금 체반 용애들이 타톡 다 상제를 좀 줘야죠 당호 남이전제 다른 게 상속되도 주마다가 저 처음 상속되다 말아 들이 좀 주의를 상속되다 말아나 내가 소리게 대와 라게 탐지를 빈다 들이 세바 좀 주의를 셉지에서 빈도 봐 셈도 봐 용화 좀 주의를 뒤대지와 처럼 벌티 개와세베 제바 저런 조바 대라도 뭐래거든 들이 랑들이 랍체보차 들이 셉지 탐지를 빈도 봐 다 콜로 저기한테 대라도 봐 이 잡으면 또 제보이려서 뭐또 제보지 요래 지바 또 제보를 하면 또 제보 돼서 또 제보지 가는 사족책을 한 소리 좀 좀 들으려고 이제 걸었더니 그럴까봐만 걸었더니 다 접지를 못해요. 대대리 그 말도 뭐 상계는 다도 사제 고맙다블래 주가를 때문에 주가 염체고 이 주가를 탐정 대리들이 다 로고 접지를 좀만 도제 남겨놨더니 다 뭐지 탐지디 이제 접지를 좀 주가 염체고를 맞추게 대리적으로 이 로고 다 대대리 좀 진짜다 제요. 다 장미 받네. 그 사용을 되려서 좀마대 옆으로 좀마세요. 타게 좀마시 받을 때니 다르래. 좀 로주세요. 그 대나기 선지적 상지에서는 선지 탐지 대도 포상지를 지내서 모상지를 접지 좀 많은지 차음을 돼. 라이 꿈도 상지 마담이 니발라서 봐. 잡는데 요거 상지 또 로다 그래. 나는 선지 라이 시바들이 자와 탐지 실로도 찍들 라이 시바들이 샘적 봐도 요 말이 이 샘적들 랑게들이 생고 내려던 데 아치 보여래 가서 대책이 뭐요래 이 동화 고스는 오 다대 주가 다 내용 거래 랑선 오 호대 탐지랑 샘 나카는 이 차오는 오 호대가랑 샘는 쇼도 좋아지 제요래 대체 대가리 나한테 매병들래 나한테 자성 샘과랑 차론 쇼서는 나카는 이 자성지 이 요아야 돼요래 애들이 되는 남타들이
Tanto di Jetson Roma di Umo di Yeshidawa, roa? Yeshidawa. Yeshidawa di Tokmar di
강세 담보 산적도 셉기 아주 잠이서 초사되네 다들이 지아만 볼 셉기 피고 담보 산적도 저기 아주 잠이서 초사 담만 뭐도 볼 상기해서나 알아서 그 사제 탐제 되라 담보 산지 셉기 탐제 피고 좀 시소를 이게 사마데 균 mentioning 거라
So here's the story, the origin story of Aryatara. So at first, Aryatara was a woman. She was a girl, and her name was Yeshidawa. Yeshidawa first gave rise to bodhicitta, the wish to attain enlightenment for the benefit of others. She really wanted to benefit to others, and this was the first instance of her giving rise to bodhicitta. Then, for innumerable eons, she gathered merit. She gathered the accumulation of merit. So first, she understood the faults of cyclic existence. She understood the impermanence of everything, the nature of impermanence, and she wanted to take refuge in the Buddhas. She received her bodhisattva vows. And she practiced. She really wanted to. She saw the suffering of sentient beings, and she thought, "I must protect them. I must protect living beings from their suffering, and in order to do so, I must protect them from the causes of their suffering. And the cause of their suffering is self-clinging. So I must learn to protect them from their self-clinging. This is what overcomes suffering." And so she cherished, she upheld loving kindness. And she underwent this for many, many iterations of lifetimes. So she took many different rebirths, and eventually she attained enlightenment. And her attainment of enlightenment was the capacity to uphold the wish to establish all living beings in happiness. So she maintained her wish to benefit others all the way up to Buddhahood. She saw some people have happiness and some people have suffering, and this is the nature of the 6 realms of sentient beings. And this is all because of the causes of actions. So the cause of negative actions yields suffering, and their ultimate cause is self-clinging. The antidote is loving kindness. And so she attained awakening in the ability to never be separated from loving kindness. And it took innumerable eons, many, many kalpas. She served, she made offerings to, she served hundreds of millions of Buddhas. I don't know if that's accurate, but many, many Buddhas. She was able to accomplish the 10 virtuous actions, and she was able to attain awakening. And this awakening had 4 results. So the first result was due to the temporary arising of her bodhicitta. That temporary arising led through much work ultimately to the level of Buddhahood. And the second is that just as a mother has natural loving kindness for her children, she had natural, flowing loving kindness. And that flow of loving kindness made it so she was never separated from timeless awareness. And therefore she was never separated from the mind of awakening, from Buddhahood. The third fruition was that she was able to enact this flow of loving kindness. So she was never separated, and this action, this enacting, is different from, for example, a doctor who does positive work in a hospital with their hands. This kind of enacting is a ceaseless flow, an unbroken continuity flowing from the bliss of awakening, the ultimate level, the ultimate fruition, the utter maturation and fruition of never being separated from the flow of awakening. And then the fourth fruition was the ability to benefit, to ceaselessly benefit. So there was the temporary benefit of establishing beings in the higher realms, the temporary happiness of the higher realms. And then the temporary benefit of being able to uphold the trainings in this and future lifetimes of discipline and so forth. She had because of all of this training, she had very great power. This great power was the power stemming from her accumulation of merit that led to her awakening for many eons. So she became a perfectly complete Buddha, and she dissolved into the Dharmakaya of the Great Mother Yum Chenmo. So Aryatara or Vajravarahi, on the outer level are Aryatara, and then on the inner level are Yum Chenmo, the Great Mother. So there's so many countless, so there's so many countless eons that took. But she was able to attain Buddhahood in the nature of mind. So for all males, their ultimate nature is Chenrezig, and for all females, their ultimate nature in terms of a deity is Aryatara. Now, Aryatara has many different forms. There's different colors, there's different amounts of arms, there's different postures. But all of these differences in form are like a set of clothes. All of the wisdom deities are all of one single mind, and that is the mind of the bliss of Dharmakaya. It's the understanding that it is one's own mind which creates samsara and nirvana. And you understand, it is my mind which creates samsara and nirvana. And the difference between them is the presence or absence of self-clinging. If you're free from self-clinging, then you remain in Buddhahood. So this is the story of Aryatara.
사랑이 배용을 좀 제발하면 잡다서로 제시대 다 제주도만 송거래 제시대 제주도만 송나 문에가 제대로 뭐 동지 제시 코랑 제시시 바데 시랍데 나도 다 마리베 세비 시작들이 다다 봐도 봐 남시리 차마들 혼사와도 남시기 제거래 남시베는 데리고 같이 하러 그래 남시리 혼사와 취지대 가리제라 대체 엄감이 되니 다 삼태서 되게 사와 탐제대 쇼치로나 다때에서 레사를 되고 레좀 sab도 그래 챕체를 그래 다디들 레마 보사서는 들이 시합 초들을 들이 용마치 쳐다니잖아 들이 남이라들이 스마파도 코는 참명 그래 코는 참능이 성성의 성령 이 성성의 생배 박차트만 이 성성의 도차 세나 세당 떠복속을 내 박차리 배를 돌아서 박차서 다 출라면 저기 성성을 쪼요래 저서 다서 세대지 못하고 그래 이제링이 좀 타기오면 이 성성의 민강라고 짝주가 민강라고 그래서 하고 들이다 다면 세대를 동해 가래 용어대 라게 유먼 걸레래 라게래 삼태의 가와 대화들 우리 삼태의 용티래 내가 빈바다 다독돼야도 타마티 사람들이 나타내면돼요 르게 거리는 얘기만 맞아 삼태라 뛰는 길 놓아 방을이 평용래지 저좀 그 평용래 때 놓으시네 들이 삼태 가서 시합에서 시합성들이 시합도 가면서 거들 시합도 가래 시합을 가래 시합을 바로 다지 세게 내놓고 똑바로 가라는 거 셈들 다다 셈들 이오래 다지 이오래 대마도 바래 마도 다지 이오래 영점을 하면 딱 되는 거래 똑바로 가라는 거 셈.
가발도.
똑바로 가.
We want to accomplish the deities. For Aryatara, Aryatara she went to Buddhahood, she attained enlightenment. And so there's innumerable deities. The Buddha has created 84,000 deities, but Aryatara is like the synthesis. If you just practice Aryatara, that is sufficient. So throughout this vast world, the nature of all females is Aryatara. So we should understand that within our own minds we have the Buddha nature. And if we're able to realize the Buddha nature, then all of its qualities become manifest. So the Buddhas and sentient beings are separated, sentient beings temporarily. Sentient beings wander in cyclic existence in the 6 realms. But this is a temporary state, a temporary wandering. And what separates sentient beings from Buddhas is whether or not they realizing or not their Buddha nature. So the inherently Buddhahood resides within us, but it is temporarily stained. And therefore beings wander in the 6 realms of cyclic existence. However, even these living beings who wander have the seed of Buddhahood, Buddha nature. In the 6 realms of living beings, there's all the various manifestations of suffering. And so it is natural to want to be freed from cyclic existence. So how can we be freed? We need to plant the seed of freedom. We need to be free from the causes of suffering. And for that, we can supplicate. We can pray, may I be free from the causes of suffering, and may all be free from the causes of suffering. So we can think of Aryatara like a flame of the abiding nature. So how is the deity like the abiding nature? The deity is the reflection of the realization of the abiding nature of mind. The deity, if we think of the deity, it's like vigilant mindfulness, awareness that we're able to hold. So if we have mindfulness for Tara, we're able to have mindfulness towards wisdom itself. So what is wisdom? Wisdom is being free from the thoughts which obscure the nature. So if the mind, what is the synthesis of all that separates us from wisdom? It is everything comes down to thoughts or consciousness. So consciousness is the root of all cyclic existence. Consciousness is the root of samsara. If we're able to give rise to very strong loving kindness, then that increases our wisdom and diminishes our self-clinging. And when our wisdom increases, the multiple or the manifest maturation, the fruition of that, is no longer wandering in cyclic existence. So then we're actually freed from the lower realms. And so in the 7 verses of supplication to the protectress Tara on page 4, it says, "Mindful Mother Goddess, please protect those who have seen the nature of mind, so difficult to realize, but do not habituate it, and so remain lost in negative activities." So if we want to be free from the lower realms, then we need to actually habituate the nature of mind which we recognize. Then the qualities of loving kindness are able to unfurl. And through that unfurling of the qualities come temporary and ultimate happiness. So the power of loving kindness is the ability to discard, to abandon all wrongdoing, all harm. And this is the upholding of all discipline. So loving kindness enables us to maintain wisdom. So what is wisdom? Wisdom is the freedom from thoughts, the freedom from self-clinging. There are two kinds of self, and it is the freedom from both.
生活那么多没不生那看那个地下过从了大多从的，我这这那是一系列播的，这把我大到俺这帮那的那是一系列播，怎么这样的怎么这是的家里这家里来接这怎么这呢？这是还接着跟的吧样的。这个的俺把差的就混嘛，别赔不了的这个，就让讲了，我都就让他这啥这个的，俺这个咱们是以前嘛都控制，反正多了俺的这嘛这一块，俺这把的嘛这一块怕要死了，这里把差就混嘛，现在把差就出了嘛，这为了这里的真实的这种嘛也没法听了，这种嘛就。俺这咱们这来这对话电视有关的呀，这样俺们这些的这个女模把帮着顶着不来，他等你的就嘛，俺真是没不过那个把啥，那个不当出马他们人出马잡这样没办，这样错了当的，真是没不中的，真是有不用叮当，真是没不中这样当样的上了当，我打真是的用的，我们这你要说有打真是用的是啥个？这些的事，这些的接触嘛的，这个你接触嘛的差的，用什么什么的，甚至些内容呢，这里基本上的讲，这里这些的，他也是能破的这里那种的，哪里没不搞的，这些人那些的，些把的要把上了当，这里这些的也是蛮破，把这里接触嘛样的，这些的这些都了，就让他们这些。俺这把上来就这种把这一次过来的。
Verse 36.
这个哪往他们那个是，甚至说着话。
We should have mindful awareness, as it says in the 37 Bodhisattva practices on page 39. In brief, wherever you are and whatever you do, always examine the state of your mind. Act to accomplish the purpose of others through constant mindfulness and awareness. This is the way of a bodhisattva. We should understand what consciousness is. So, I'm spinning a prayer wheel, and I can think, oh, this is my prayer wheel. This is my prayer wheel. And that thinking mine, I, is a temporary stain. But this is not the basis of mind. This is a temporary stain, this grasping towards I and mine. In fact, there is no such thing. So if you break down what I am, the clothes on my body and body itself, all of this will fall away. This is not what I am. So it's all comes down to consciousness. And we want to transform consciousness into timeless awareness. And so whatever you do, you can think that it isn't you that's doing it, it is Aryatara. So whatever activity you engage in, you can think, Aryatara did this, Aryatara is doing this. And if you're able to maintain mindfulness in this way, then when you actually meditate, your consciousness, the fixation on the two forms of self in your consciousness will be able to be pierced through. And you'll say, oh, they're not in my mind. So then you won't be afflicted by temporary suffering. You'll be able to understand, pierce through. So then you won't have conceptual thoughts and your mind will be vast as space. This is the meaning of Mahamudra, the meaning of great perfection, Dzogchen. So it's taking timeless awareness on the path, as the path. Then your path is the path of timeless awareness, vast as space. So you understand the nature of all phenomena and yourself, and everything becomes vast as space. So even in Madhyamaka, we talk about everything, we pierce through everything until it becomes the nature of wisdom, and we don't follow after thoughts. So in Mahamudra, it says, the saying is in Mahamudra, do nothing whatsoever and do not mentally contrive in any way. And therefore you're able to understand the nature of thoughts and not follow after them. Then your consciousness transforms into timeless awareness. Consciousness must transform into timeless awareness. This is the point of Manyamaka, and we're able to do that through whatever we do, maintaining mindfulness of Aryatara. Because what that does is it supplants our tendency to think of ourself. I, my. And if we think my, me, this plants further habitual imprints for the future. So in contrast, whatever you do, whatever you engage in, think that you're the deity doing that. Think Aryatara is doing that. And you can also do the Hong practice that we talked about. Hong. So in brief, don't have mindfulness towards I, me. And if you don't, then you'll no longer plant habitual imprints. So you want to have mindful awareness. You want your mindful awareness to be inseparable from Aryatara. And Aryatara, if your mindful awareness is inseparable from Aryatara, that affects your past, present, and future lives. You will be able to abandon afflictive emotions. So the present suffering that you experience is the result of not abandoning afflictive emotions in past lives. So you want to be free of planting more habitual imprints. And so you want to have mindful awareness. You lay future habitual imprints through not having mindful awareness. Mindful awareness brings qualities. You should have mindful awareness of Aryatara. Aryatara should transform into everything that you do. Then you will understand the basis of the nature of your mind. In the future, your mindful awareness will transform into timeless awareness. So their consciousness, you should think well about consciousness and mindful awareness. You should look into them. And in everything you do, you should have mindful awareness. And this is accomplishing or cultivating Aryatara. Relative bodhicitta is compassion and loving kindness. And we should try to have that inseparable from our mindful awareness, the wish to benefit. So today I talked about the origin story of Aryatara, and there's much to be said, but I won't go over it again because you can find that in lots of different places and movies and stuff. But just think about the qualities of Aryatara. Think about the qualities of altruism, the wish to benefit others. This is what cleanses the mind and makes the mind clean, makes you see through the non-substantiality. So please practice. Please transform consciousness into timeless awareness. Please maintain mindful awareness. So we have these bracelets, and these bracelets have the Tara mantra on them. And so you can feel them on you, and that can help you maintain your mindfulness, your mindful awareness. You can always remember Tara through wearing these bracelets. And then also you can do the Om Hung, the Vajra recitation that we talked about. And you'll please never be separated from mindful awareness. So now I think it's time for questions. So if you don't have any, that's also fine. But if just a few people have questions, then we can do that.
로마 탐세는 잡디마디 기체고요리 참마 볼로는 잡디마디 참마 볼로는 그 람지그라고 세고 내로 돌래 비마치고요리.
There's also this book, the 7 verses of the supplication to the protectress Tara. You can have this book and you should read it again and again. It's very profound and it can help in recognizing or unveiling the abiding nature of mind.
The questions are previously about the meditation. Okay, so there's this question. What is the best practice for someone who finds it very hard to feel the emotion of love and compassion for others and themselves? When I'm practicing cultivating love, I do the action with my body and speech, but I do not feel it in my heart. So my practice feels very superficial. Is my way of practicing still effective?
The chamse ningla makena, the torwa yongemena chamse ki torwa yongemedus karechegores.
오, 뒤다로데 당디 숙체소는 양당양데 되는데 이거 홍대공 되는데 많이 박차도 봐. 홍대 양당도 거기서 섭까지 싸워잖아. 좋아요 거리. 그리 양심시 동의 공고를 동의를 싸우다. 리직바래 섭지 섬지 동의 가르치는 요래. 오 내로 봐도 동의를 해서 로를 도강 동의를 때도 거기 양 동의를 서 좋아지나. 그리 양대 그 평일에 앞에 저 람당망상 용도가 말이.
This is a sign that there is very strong self-clinging. So you can do the meditation of the Hong at the navel, and that will clarify the mind and give a feeling. And then you can also think about the suffering of sentient beings. So the suffering of all sentient beings is the same as your own suffering. And the 6 realms of living beings is rife with suffering. And if you think in this way, then eventually you'll have a feeling. But it won't happen right away.
Thank you. The next question. In the 37 practices of Bodhisattvas, it says that when someone abuses, slander, or steals from us, we shall let them be. However, I do not have the perfect bodhicitta yet. So in this case, should I fight back and defend myself? Because if I don't, and then I will suffer, and then this will also cause the abuser a very bad karma. It will create bad karma for them if I allow them to abuse me.
The Gyoselaklen la the Suta Duchen Wangi Dak Ginor the Sergadu Yenayang the Mishenda Nichala Kuma Gyapna the Karachegore.
오, 대배야고 그래. 기양 하마랑 그 천초절 디랑 민기 판호도 그래. 판초 좀 그래. 랑그 블루수도 그래. 나 야고 차서 다 블루수 좀 kokar kodi de balon machara so mo to mo chi ali pe de me ma mo nyong go re balon so to de kwa ta so kuma de tu ji che so go re.
This is a great question. You should think this is occurring because of the fruition of my past actions, and it's just the ripening of my own karma. So the stealing of my things is actually a purification, and actually it's turning out quite well. You can think it's true that the thief will experience negativity and will incur suffering. But as for me, I'm being purified of my negativity. Thank you, thief.
The next question, can Rinpoche please explain how to practice Om Ahong during our daily activities, and also to elaborate more on how to practice Om Ahong when going to sleep?
Om Ahong chulam la kandres nyamnen chegureyang nyelwe kapsu.
오, 서로를 저도 모르다나. 이거지. 그 판이 이 세마 타데 항상 그래서 봐지 거리. 이 병신 보여리. 이 세마 타데 나도지야. 많이 걱정사 돼 나인도 봐대. 똑같이 나인도 나나 돼야 돼. 똑같이 주대리. 이 말을 말이. 이 말이네. 이 세마서도 야불 오만 배운 것때 제인들이 나인도 봐 차려고 말이야. 아주 병신 보여리. 이 세마 타도 제인도 봐지 거래지. 그럼 당신들이 오마호 마디 받지 좋아해.
So Rinpoche did it, just in whatever you do, and then when you're going to sleep, just and this has a great benefit. So usually, if you can fall asleep that way, then it can continue when you wake up. And usually when you wake up, the very first thought you have is of yourself. And that is really the gravest negativity, is clinging to yourself. This is ignorance. So if you do ahung, and it continues when you wake up, ahung or om ahung, then you don't lay the habitual imprint of further self-clinging. And so it's very beneficial. And as for whatever you're doing during the day, it's just like reciting mantra.
The next question, would there be any danger if we were to practice channel, wind, and drop while not yet having sufficient love and compassion, or while our afflictions are still very strong? Will there be any danger in that?
Nyumongpa mambo yuna chamse chung matok mena salung gomna nyenka yorebes nyenka.
Nyenka yoba 오마홍 공고 살은 유모모 mambo 때에 매대 거는 조금 차상 루면이 책송도 유모 봐서 막 책송상 이지라 오마홍이라 유모가 같이 말라 사발 공고 같이 말라 공고.
Oh, there's no danger at all. Definitely do it. You should visualize the flame at your navel. And actually your whole body can be a candle. And you can think this flame is burning all negativities, all afflictive emotions. So yourself is like a candle and you do Om Ahong. And if you meditate in this way, then actually however many negativities, however many afflictions occur, it actually increases this flame.
The next question. I feel devotion to all the deities, especially Amitabha, Shakyamuni, Chenrezig, etc. When I passed away, what deity should I remember, or do I only need to think of Guru? Some months ago, when I had this thought, and at night I dreamt of a bright sun with many colors, and immediately appears Tara in my shrine. I wonder, is my dream true, or is it an illusion of Mara appearing? And what deity should I practice?
The milam chik la shishana droma jatsu nangshin sharsongs. Dine di pla be mampo yores shidu mitse shidu pla karegom gogre lama gom gogre bes.
아빠미 공나 저거 홍공나 저거 저기 길 봐도 공공 말이야. 센터 나와서 하면 홍콩들이 가리 나다 가리 곰 틀어드려 아빠미 저거 시디 아빠미 곰들이 아빠미 남자 제인으로 그래 나다 아빠미 심지 참을 아빠미 이래 요래 가리 밤에 대식이고 생코랑 밤에 샘들 아침 보여요. 대티로 밤에 냠도 보러 들 남상 집과 차트고 그래. 밤에 장소나지. 밤에 남상 적도고요. 밤에는 저렇게 되어지나 미국 접사래. 된다 그래.
Amitabha or Hung, but you should pick one. So whatever you visualize, whatever you habituate to, is what you'll visualize when you die. So you should think about Amitabha. Think about Amitabha, and Amitabha is connected to your Buddha nature. There's a great relationship between Amitabha and your Buddha nature. And so your mind can transform into Amitabha and then access the nature of bliss.
뭐저 참아 밤에 그 버려야지. 대대로 사람들이 우리 파지 상계들이 상계가 벗자고 소 참아 상계가 벗어져 자들이 이 파지 제인들이 상계에 대한 내가 밤에 제인이라는 그래.
We're all Amitabha's children, so you can think that way. You can think actually we're all the children of the Buddhas, so you should remember Amitabha that way.
And just now, the question was also include this person dreaming of a bright sun with many colors.
I translated that, yeah.
Thanks. So I move on to the next question. How does empowerment work exactly? So for example, in some deity practice, you are not allowed to visualize yourself as the deity unless you have the empowerment for the deity. Why is this so? Is it because there is some energy transfer or some things that happens when we receive empowerment?
Wang, Yorawa, Wang. Play Wang, Yorawa, Bumpe Wang, Sangway Wang, Didaba. The Wang Kandres Lega Chegres, Karechene Wang Gogres.
나 막고는 생코 나한테 봐요래. 나 삼들이지. 나 삼들이서 다디 박차고 토마미 벌때 대지고 침을 대 육목도 대지고 침을 차대. 사지 지죠. 왕도 사 찍지 som나. 그렇지. 자로로 쇼송. 들이 잡지 철었던 거랑 요래. 왕 줄사를 하면 오늘들이 남시 시를 보고요. 대대래. 한 삼지 치고 찌라양 나dim이 봐도 대대 야봉 차고 sem사고 차거리. 이리들이 내로 갖고들이 사대 치고 차도 요래. 왕이 지금 대대. 너는 나디의 삼지가 왕저들 왕이 야고 대요 터요래. 삼지게 거래. 삼지. 대신 삼지 같이 맞기라 홍지.
We need empowerment because usually we're overrun by self-clinging, grasping to myself. And these habitual imprints of self-fixation are very heavy, and we're overwhelmed by afflictive emotions. But if we're able to have attention toward mindfulness on a deity, then this is what melts the block of ice that the afflictions have constricted us into. Then we have some kind of freedom. Then we're able to transform consciousness into timeless awareness. We're able to be free from self-clinging. The mind becomes clear, and we're able to understand its nature. So through just a single deity, we're able to overcome or melt away self-clinging into loving kindness. And then that's a sign, if we have loving kindness, that's a sign that we've received an empowerment well. So you need loving kindness, and it's all subsumed in the Hung.
나지 생활서는 차로는 동해 요래. 동해도 와서 다. 차로 장소를 줘서 철로 동해 요면 대하고 그래. 되게 대셔가 탑들이다. 왕당 다사족 세운 공주 때 탑만 보지. 참아 나지 매발도 오지 제대로.
So the frozen block of ice is caused by self-clinging, and that's what we have to break. We have to break that frozen ice, and then the melting of that ice melts us into the vast ocean. That's what we have to understand. So there's lots of techniques or methods which allow that melting to occur. There's empowerment, there's giving rise to bodhicitta, but it's all a process of overcoming self-clinging.
The next question. What is the best practice to do when we feel energy blocks and cannot feel sensations in some parts of our body? My body is quite frozen and I cannot feel the sensation in my spine even after years of practicing meditation.
Zupola the gate sick the sorgimendus the zupo the kasakala sorgimendus sorwa mepa chak songs karechegores.
다 때려 매대 검들이 분명히 민성 보이지 처음에 받잖아 저거도 기타 강과 동반인데 이마 욕을 보고 우리 저거 뭐 말이야 삼들이 들이서로 땅들이 고살로 소소로들이 냐미지는 팽그리 처음에 받지 저거도 뭐 말이야 삼잖아
You can meditate on a flame or fire. So since beginningless time, we've accumulated the karma of our physical bodies, but you can think this body isn't myself. And if you have a feeling of like a numbness or a not feeling parts of your body, when you practice, just think, this body isn't me, even the feeling that you have, the non-feeling.
가지를 민통의 팽그리 대지 않으면 이게 저걸 넣어봤다는 데 시작과지 넣어봐서 시작과지 제일 민그 팽그리 샵지는 팽그리 가시가 이 저걸 넣어봤다 시작과지를 준비하고 내 넣어봤다는 땅 이 시작과 맞이는 이따다 나사를 자야 뭐 무식하러 나그래 이제 더블레들은 다다 나디그래 인피를 오면 중래.
So some people's physical body responds well to medicine, medicinal interventions, surgeries, and some people's don't. Some people, they take medicine, they have surgeries, and nothing seems to help. It's like their body is really stubborn. And this comes down to self-clinging. And so what overcomes this is altruism, the wish to benefit others.
The next question. During a Kora at the 37 Bodhisattvas Practices garden, at the garden today, I visualized a lot of Hong syllable falling down from the sky. And I myself is also in the form of a big Hong. Inside my channels, there are also many small Hong. And there was a moment I saw Garchen Rinpoche in front of me in a Hong syllable. So in that moment, I feel the nature of Guru, and I also feel all the nature are the same, just like the Hong syllable. There is vast equanimity and joy arising. However, immediately there is also a thought of arising that I will lose this deep devotion to Guru because I see the Guru exactly like me. So the devotion feelings disappeared at that moment. I am scared that this thought of losing devotion I'm very scared of this thought of losing devotion to Guru. And so can Guru advise me what to do in this state?
And so this will be the last question. Nyam chung songs, during the nyam chik chung songs, the korwa gyapdu, then hong nam kane yong, then sa nang lok la hong be mambo chung chung mambo dus, then Garchen Rinpoche do na Garchen Rinpoche yang hong chempo chik dus, the halea yapo dus, yena yang, then the Rinpoche dang nga chikpa yimpe samne, then mugu di hlak song se, mugu di hlak song se.
네, 야고래 가디는 냠데 그네 사고 선택지 바착이 요래 선도 나파라 템고래 나파도 상기래 야고래 이 자인다 오늘 것도디 나랑 기본 넘버트라 나리 야가 요래들 것도 아까리는 기본 넘버트 쪽으로 돌들 뭐지라 뒤쪽으로 요래 것도
Yeah, so Rinpoche just responded to the first part, which is the Hong experience, and said that's really wonderful. Yes, exactly. Everything can dissolve into space. The Buddha is space. So for any future questions that you have, please direct them to the Sublime Lamas over here. Kempo and the others, they're even better than me, Dorzin Rinpoche. So please ask them your questions. So now we'll do the Kunsang Manlam, the aspiration prayer of Kuntuzangpo. 49, I think? 40. Oh yeah. Oh, everything, appearance and existence, samsara and nirvana, has a single ground, yet two paths and two fruitions, and magically displays as awareness or unawareness. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all beings become Buddhas, completely perfected in the abode of the Dharma Dhatu. The ground of all is uncompounded, and the self-arising great expanse beyond expression has neither the name samsara nor nirvana. Realizing just this, you are a Buddha. Not realizing this, you are a being wandering in samsara. I pray that all you beings of the three realms may realize the true meaning of the inexpressible ground. I, Kuntuzangpo, have realized the truth of this ground, free from cause and condition, which is just this self-arising awareness. It is unstained by outer expression and inner thought, affirmation or denial, and is not defiled by the darkness of unmindfulness. Thus, this self-manifesting display is free from defects. I, Kuntuzangpo, as intrinsic awareness, even though the three realms were to be destroyed, there is no fear. There is no attachment to the five desirable qualities of sense objects. In self-arising consciousness free of thoughts, there is neither solid form nor the five poisons. In the unceasing clarity of awareness, singular in essence, there yet arises the display of the five wisdoms. From the ripening of these five wisdoms, the five original Buddha families emerge. And through the expanse of their wisdom, the 42 peaceful Buddhas appear. Through the arising power of the five wisdoms, the 60 wrathful Herukas manifest. Thus, the ground awareness is never mistaken or wrong. I, Kuntuzangpo, am the original Buddha of all, and through this prayer of mine, may all you beings who wander in the three realms of samsara realize the self-arising awareness, and may your great wisdom spontaneously increase. My emanations will continuously manifest in billions of unimaginable ways, appearing in forms to help you beings who can be trained. Compassionate prayer, may all of you beings who wander in the three realms of samsara escape from the 6 life forms. From the beginning, you beings are deluded because you do not recognize the awareness of the ground. Being thus unmindful of what occurs is delusion, the very state of unawareness, and the cause of going astray. From this delusive state comes a sudden fainting away, and then a subtle consciousness of wavering fear. From that wavering, there arises a separation of self and the perception of others as enemies. Gradually, the tendency of separation strengthens, and from this the circle of samsara begins. Then the emotions of the 5 poisons develop. The actions of these emotions are endless. Lack awareness because you are unmindful, and this is the basis of your going astray. Through my prayer, may all you beings recognize your intrinsic awareness. Innate unawareness means unmindfulness and distraction. Imputing unawareness means dualistic thoughts towards self and others. Both kinds of unawareness are the basis for the delusion of all beings. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all you beings wandering in samsara clear away the dark fog of unmindfulness, clear away the clinging thoughts of duality. May you recognize your own intrinsic awareness. Dualistic thoughts create doubt. Subtle attachment to this dualistic turn of mind, dualistic tendencies become stronger and thicker. Food, wealth, clothes, home, and friends, the 5 objects of the senses and your beloved family, all these things cause torment by creating longing and desire. These are all worldly delusions. The activities of grasping and clinging are endless. When the fruition of attachment ripens, you are born as a hungry ghost, tormented by coveting and desiring, miserable, starving, and thirsty. Through Kunta Zangpo's prayer, may all you desirous and lustful beings who have attachments neither reject longing desires nor accept attachment to desires. Let your consciousness relax in its own natural state. Then your awareness will be able to hold its own. May you achieve the wisdom of perfect discernment. When external objects appear, the subtle consciousness of fear will arise. From this fear, the habit of anger becomes stronger and stronger. Finally, hostility comes, causing violence and murder. Of this anger ripens, you will suffer in hell by boiling and burning. Through Kunta Zangpo's prayer, you beings of the 6 realms, when strong anger arises for you, neither reject nor accept it. Instead, relax in the natural state and achieve the wisdom of clarity. When your mind becomes full of pride, there will arise thoughts of competition and humiliation. As this pride becomes stronger and stronger, you will experience the suffering of quarrels and abuse. When the fruition of this karma ripens, you will be born in the God realms and experience the suffering of change and falling to lower rebirths. Through Kunta Zangpo's prayer, may you beings who develop pride, let your consciousness relax in the natural state. Then your awareness will be able to hold its own. The wisdom of equanimity. By increasing the habit of duality, by praising yourself and denigrating others, your competitive mind will lead you to jealousy and fighting, and you will be born in the jealous God realm, where there is much killing and injury. From the result of that killing, you will fall into the hell realm. Through Kunta Zangpo's prayer, when jealousy and competitive thoughts arise, do not grasp them as enemies. Just relax and ease, then consciousness can hold its own natural state. May you achieve the wisdom of unobstructed action. By being distracted, careless, and unmindful, you beings will become dull, foggy, and forgetful. By being unconscious and lazy, you will increase your ignorance, and the fruition of this ignorance will be to wander helplessly in the animal realm. Through Kunta Zangpo's prayer, may you beings who have fallen into the dark pit of ignorance shine the light of mindfulness, and thereby achieve wisdom free from thought. All you beings of the 3 realms are actually identical to Buddhas, the ground of all, but your misunderstanding of the ground causes you to go astray, so you act without aim. The 6 karmic actions are a delusion, like a dream. I am the primordial Buddha, here to train the 6 kinds of beings through all my manifestations. Through Kunta Zangpo's prayer, may all you beings without exception attain enlightenment in the state of Dharmadhatu. Ah ho! Hereafter, whenever a very powerful yogin, with his or her awareness radiant and free from delusion, recites this very powerful prayer, then all who hear it will achieve enlightenment within 3 lifetimes. During a solar or lunar eclipse, during an earthquake, or when the earth rumbles, at the solstices or the new year, Kunta Zangpo. And if you pray loudly so all can hear, the beings of the 3 realms will be gradually liberated from suffering through the prayer of the yogin and will finally achieve enlightenment.
Everybody Sangha, thank you. Long life.
Please wait for announcements. Please